Hey, I just wanted to say hello to all of our Grand Junction families from Discovery Kids. I wanted to give our Grand Junction families kind of an update on what's happening in Fruita. So last week we had a staff member and two of our kiddos go test for COVID, and they came up positive. Those results came back on Sunday. One of the staff members was in our older classroom, which is our pre-kindergarten kiddos, our oldest 4-year-olds. Also in that classroom, like Grand Junction, it runs our kindergarten and school age. And we had two children, same household. One was in that classroom as well, and the other was in our early preschool classroom. So we knew this was going to happen. We made it 8 months before it did. And so I just want to give you a heads up on kind of the Mesa County mandate, what they've required for us to do, just in case we go through this in Grand Junction, and so that you have accurate information on what's happening out here in Fruita. So they required us to quarantine all staff that had contact with these 3 individuals. That affected 8 of our staff, and quarantine all children that also had contact. And they defined the high-risk contact by being within 6 feet of an individual who was potentially contagious, that had a positive COVID test for a 15-minute time period. So as we're working with your children, our staff are in contact with your kids like that. So it essentially, all children that were with us over those period of time in that classroom ended up being quarantined. So it's very quiet here in Fruita. It's very quiet. So we've got 8 staff that are out for 2 weeks. We've got over 50 kids that are in all our quarantine. Our school agers aren't able to go to elementary school, which starts back up tomorrow. All of that. The family members were not required to quarantine, only those that had symptoms. As far as testing, our staff and kids, the county recommends that testing at this point, if you're quarantined, only if you have symptoms. So not all the kids were required to go get tests. Of course, many of the families decided to, and some chose not to. Many of our staff are getting tested, and some have no symptoms. They feel great and won't be required to, based on following the county recommendations. So what else do I have for you? So that's kind of what's happening in Fruita. Just wanted to give you a hello and an update, and I won't be seeing you for a while as I'm out running the admin out here in Fruita for the next 2 weeks. So everybody stay safe, and hopefully, I don't know if this is going to be the new norm for the winter. I sure hope not. I hope all the powers to be get their act together and see a better solution to this. I do want to share that, on this situation, Discovery did choose to refund all tuition for families. So all of our families that were affected in the 2 rooms that were affected, we credited all that tuition. So our families, at least through this first round, are not having that financial burden. So so that's how we chose to handle that. And so I'll, keep in mind for future, if we have to face this in Grand Junction, I'll be working to try to approach that with the same amount of thought and care and commitment in Junction, if I'm able to do so, which I would hope that I could. Okay, thanks everybody. Hope you have a marvelous day. See ya.